You see today's date, right? Today is February 28th, 2021. Well, what is tomorrow's date then? You see, last year in 2020, the day after February 28th, 2020 was March 0th, 2020. Likewise, the day before March 1st, 2020 was March 0th, 2020. I even made an entire video talking about that day, the day after February 28th, but before March 1st, 2020. See, that video, it was made 11 months ago, just under a year ago, because right now it's February, the end of February. This was early March that I made that video in, March 0, 2020, but here's the thing. If you click that video and you see the upload date, it's February 29th, 2020, and even if you look at the actual video, if you look at the date that was on my computer monitor in the bottom right corner, that was also February 29th, 2020, that's what it showed, but I talked about in that video why that was all a lie, how the calendar makers were trying to trick us into thinking it was February 29th, 2020, when it was really March 0th, 2020. Basically, it came down to the fact that February is only supposed to have 28 days. It doesn't make sense why they have 29 days. Like, what other month has 29 days? January has 31 days, March has 31 days, April has 30. What month has 29 days? Also, numbers are supposed to start at 0. I think we learned this in computer science class or something. Numbers, you start counting at 0. Like, the first number is 0, then 1, 2. So you start on March 0th, 2020. You see, after I made that realization last year in that video, how it was really March 0th, 2020 and not February 29th, 2020, and how the calendar makers were trying to lie to us, I guess the calendar makers realized that I was onto them. I was onto their prank. I realized how they were tricking me. So I guess this time around in 2021, they removed the date after February 28th, but before March 1st. You see, last year, February 29th, what the calendar makers wanted to think that date was, but in reality it was March 0th, 2020. That came after February 28th, but before March 1st. But you see, that's not there at all on the calendar anymore, so what happened to it? Well, it's between February 28th and March 1st, right? That's what it's supposed to be. Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait until midnight tonight to find out, since that's right at the midpoint between February 28th and March 1st. I think that's the way we're gonna find out what happened to March 0th, 2021. Because last year there was March 0th, 2020, they just labeled it as February 29th, but obviously days can't have 29 days. I mean, 29 is a prime number, right? Ignore the fact that 31 is also prime. Forget about that. No, 31's totally not prime, but no, 29 is a prime number, right? So can't have 29 days in a month. 29 is a prime number. Doesn't make sense, right?